This is the Iron Master reporting in for day 79. Something over there I haven't seen in a while, mainly the sun. So, wow, look at that. There have been multiple Iron Masters throughout the 19th century, and that person is basically in control, manages over the operations of the blast furnace and all the other operations. So I'm just the latest in the string. Of course, I'm overseeing a dormant blast furnace, so not much to do but just sit here and enjoy the morning. And I'm not in any particular hurry to get started. I'm going to enjoy coffee and breakfast. The ghosts last night were quiet. Didn't present a problem. As I walk through this door, I relinquish my charge as Iron Master to the next Iron Master. I am now once again just humble 5-stack. This hostel, it really is amazing that places like this exist. This building is it's with the state park. It's in the public realm, and I don't know all its history as a hostel, but I know it's a long one, and it really depends on lots of cooperation. The people that stay here, they really have to help out to make it inexpensive, to make it work. And the fact that I'm trusted to stay here and kind of take care of this place a little bit, since I was the only one here, is really cool and really amazing. Here is the general store. It's not open yet, at the Pine Grove Furnace. And this is the site of the half-gallon challenge. So if you can get a half-gallon of ice cream and eat it all in a certain amount of time, you can get a little wooden spoon, and I think you get the half-gallon free. A long-held tradition on the AT. Another look at this 19th century blast furnace. I was talking about the coke that's used to fuel these things. In this case, it was charcoal, but in modern iron making, coke is derived from coal, and there's been several generations of technology to take that coal and drive out all the volatiles except for and leave all the carbon. Some of the original ones were these beehive-shaped coke ovens, and there's still ruins of those you can see in towns, especially towns around old steel mills. But now you have these massive coking plants, beginning in the maybe 1920s, 30s, 40s, and on, even to the present. And the largest by far is the Clairton plant, the U.S. Steel Clairton plant in Pennsylvania. And that facility, I worked with these facilities in my former career, and that facility is by far the best maintained and run coke plant in the country. And I say this, I've seen the operational data, and I know that Allegheny County is the primary agency that keeps track of them. does a great job overseeing that facility. However, even so, if you look at the air monitors around that facility, the benzene levels are high. I would say at unsafe levels. So here's the problem. The best run facility in the country still can't make the air in their surrounding areas healthy. Something's gotta give. And the truth is, there is technology that exists to make these facilities even cleaner in terms of their air pollution. And it costs a lot of money, but in the scheme of things, not so much. But here's the rub. And Mr. Brown, we were talking about this a lot back when we were hiking together that day in the Shenandoahs when I fell off that cliff and landed on my head. The margins are so thin on these types of products. I mean, not just Coke, but lots of things. That if you have to spend more, then imports will take over. And those imports, in the case of Coke plants, are probably going to come from Coke plants in India or China or maybe Brazil that have even worse environmental standards. So there's the rub. We really do need to do a better job at scrutinizing what gets imported into this country, and maybe along the way we'll save some industries. If we hold other countries to better environmental standards, better labor standards, things like that, everybody ought to be able to earn a living wage in whatever country they're in. All right, enough of that little ramp. Good God, look at the creek. That thing is way over the banks. I don't know where the delis along the Appalachian Trail begin in earnest, but there is one coming up the road at about lunchtime. So it's the same one that Marty took me to last night. So I'm definitely gonna hit that. I think New York is known for lots of delis. So that means non-hiker food and having to carry less weight in terms of food. Somewhere down in this valley, there is a large lake, and we drove past it, Marty and I, last night on the way to the deli. And the reason that lake is there, because that's where the iron mine was. So there's a deposit rich in iron, and so that was used to in the smelter, and that iron is oxidized, and of course what happens in the smelter is it goes from that iron oxide, 1 atom of iron, 3 atoms of oxygen, to pure iron. And there's I'm a Nova fan on PBS, which should surprise nobody. But there's a Planet Earth series that's really awesome, and of course geared towards the layperson. And so way back when, and I'm just pulling this number out of my pocket, let's say 600 million years ago, or even less, if you were to travel in time back then, you would immediately die because there was not enough oxygen. And but there were primitive, basically algae in the ocean and other life forms emerging, and they were producing oxygen. But all that oxygen that got produced, because there was so much iron around, was bound up. It basically rusted and formed deposits. And so before we could get, the 21% oxygen or something approaching that in our atmosphere, all that iron had to get sort of used up. And so what you have is these massive deposits of iron, and especially in, it's seen in places like northern Minnesota. That's what the Edmund Fitzgerald was carrying down to a steel mill. Taconite, which is iron ore, is kind of processed into these little marble-sized balls for use in modern blast furnaces. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. Just walking the trail. I'm going for it. All right. Found me a deli. Looks like it'd be easy to go that way. But oh no. The AT's gonna take the scenic route. Just in case there were any doubt. Nope. Gotta suck in. This creek is pretty high, but I made it across, and someone put that long, sturdy stick there, and I could tell it looks like it was put there on purpose, and that's just the stick you needed to balance across this log. Coming out of the woods, just about a mile from Boiling Springs. Ooh, wow, look at those clouds. Gonna do a little slogging through some farm fields. Ooh, I smell fresh manure. Oh, there's another iron foundry or furnace. This one operated from the 1760s to 1895 when new processes were invented. Wow, this is a fancy place. Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania. There's some clear water. I'm guessing there's a boiling spring up there. Wrapping up day 79. And one never knows how a day out here is going to end up. When I started the day, I did not know I would be at the house of Trail Angels, Natalie and John. They have invited me into their home, and I am so grateful for that. And so more about them in tomorrow's episode. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. Today I hiked about, it was about 19 and a half miles from the Iron Masters mansion in Pine Grove Furnace to Boiling Springs. So tomorrow I'm either going to hike slack pack 25 miles from Boiling Springs to Duncannon, or I'm going to get some emergency dental work. Just depends on how things go. So stay tuned.